And we are coming down in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by never mind. He bitched out. Nope, also not here. All right. I'm joined by
Brother Souls.
Brother Souls.
Brother Souls.
And
the Red Baron.
yeah. J Mart's in Mexico, and Machine Washable, diehard Yankees fan, went to a Red Sox Orioles game.
Diehard.
Two division rivals that, neither.
Who do you think he's rooting for right now?
Oh, he's the only person I like the Yankees, but I don't dislike the Red Sox.
Not how that works.
So being a Phillies Braves fan.
Fuck that.
Hey.
Phillies Braves.
You're not a fan of the Atlanta Phillies?
No.
Or the Philadelphia Braves?
First of all, the Braves are one of the most boring teams in baseball.
You can't say that.
I can.
No, you can't.
They have Freddie Freeman.
All right. That's fair.
You're...
This guy I worked for the Braves.
Did he?
Yeah, he was not for the Braves. Like, he worked for the stadium.
Turner Field?
He was one of the VIP ushers. So he worked the bottom rows behind the home dugout and like the on deck circle and like that. So every home game he was right there.
That's cool.
Yeah, he met a lot of people. He met Mike Vick.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Before or after the
pre jail Vick.
Okay.
No, sorry, post jail Vick. Steelers Vick.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We should have taken advantage at the time. We could have got jerseys and all that.
You can still get them. They're out there. You just have to go to NFL.com. Custom made jerseys.
Number 2, Mike Vick.
Number
Number
two.
2. Robert Vick the Third. That's his real name. Starting lineups. Souls.
Oh, boy. I wasn't expecting me to lead off. I got a beautiful something.
Tiny beautiful something.
Yep. That's why I said a beautiful something. This might be beautiful. It might not be.
But it's a tiny beautiful something.
And it's from Maine.
Where in Maine?
I don't know.
What's the name of the brewery?
Freeport, Maine.
What's the name of the brewery? You got to give these people the information.
Maine Beer Company.
Okay, so just for the recap from the dumpster fire that was just extinguished, Kyle is drinking a tiny beautiful something from Maine Brewing Company out of Freeport, Maine.
This is what happened when
It's a nice label though, right, Souls?
Yeah. This is what happened when I go first in things.
He waves you off. Yeah.
Red Baron? Meow.
From Treehouse Brewing Company.
Or Squints, we call them.
Or Squints. I'm Squints now.
Yeah. I'm yeah.
All right.
I'm Pudge.
I think we should do it like a
It's
shot-for-shot remake.
I'm doing a different movie.
I have Lights Out. It's an American Pale Ale. Never had it. Very excited to try it today.
Oh, Kyle's also drinking a pale ale. He forgot to mention that too.
Ooh, dual Pale Ale.
Yeah.
Just don't expect me to know things, guys.
I know barely more than you do, Kyle.
And I have an India Pale Ale. I know.
No.
Shocking.
No.
Yeah, Ode to Blumpy from Thomas Hooker Brewery here in Connecticut.
Thomas Hooker?
Yeah.
Good
Thomas
guy.
Hooker, yeah.
He was a good dude.
I'm also drinking Michter's Single Barrel Straight Rye as well. I couldn't decide which one I wanted, so I think I'm going to do a bourbon chaser for my beer.
Or you could just mix it. Put it in a cup.
Boilermaker.
and mix
It's
it.
called a Boilermaker, Kyle.
Ooh, Purdue?
Yeah.
Very nice. I like it.
What? Like the chicken or the school?
The school.
No.
You know, funny thing about Thomas Hooker, real quick. The Riddler has this belief that I got these candies, these beer toffee, and he says I didn't give him any. That's not true. But he'll tell you otherwise.
He didn't. It's full of shit. Because it was talking about the ones at college, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he got this like this toffee popcorn. Oh no, it was beer
was-
toffee, and it was peanut brittle. That's what it was.
Yeah, brittle, that's right.
Beer peanut brittle, and he got it from his parents, and he was supposed to share it with me and this
And
kid, this friend of ours, Joe Buck,
I did
who lives
share.
in Philly, and he didn't give us any.
He's lying.
You're
We're gonna get Joe Buck on the horn.
bastard.
He's lying.
Okay, so let's just Souls, you know Kendall, you know me, and you've met Joe Buck. So Joe Buck and I both say that we didn't get any, and Red Baron Mirror
2-1, bro. 2-1.
happens to say that we did get some of the peanut brittle that allegedly was all gone very quickly.
The odds are stacked against me right now. I know I gave them the brittle.
He didn't.
Well, hold on.
He didn't give us the
Hold
brittle.
on.
Well, hold on.
Hold on. Was it good?
It was good. It was good.
He ate it all.
That's not true.
Ask me if it was good.
I saw it.
Ask me if it was good.
He had some.
I don't know, and I never will.
He goes, I
It's
don't.
horse
I'm sure we
shit.
could buy some.
It wouldn't be the same. It would just taste like betrayal.
It's the taste of betrayal.
It's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm all hot and bothered now. Ugh. Toast of excellence. Souls, you ready?
Kendall's ready.
I'm
All
ready. My toast of excellence goes out to Russell Westbrook, averaging a triple-double for the season. And then the last game he needed, I can't remember, was it 16 rebounds?
17.
17?
Oh, he got it.
He got it. I saw
In like the third quarter.
there's a pretty funny meme. I think
The end of the game was 6 points.
Yeah, he boxed out Melo for one. Like it was like the guy. There was a defender behind him, but he boxed out Melo.
I think Riddler showed me a meme, and he was like, he and Steven Adams sitting on the bench, like, Steven, you better just stay away from the basket.
Yeah, there's been like a lot of like scrutiny against him for doing it, like getting 30 whatever rebounds in 2 games, and it's like,
but why is that a problem?
but
That's
it's one of those
cool.
things. So it's like, oh, he's whoring stats. Like, who cares? It's the
doesn't
last
have-
2 games. It's not like
Right.
he's pushing Steven Adams out of the way for 82 games for rebounds. Like, the guy had plenty of games where he didn't get 10 rebounds, or he got 11. Like, so he had the opportunity to make history, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The fans want to see that. It's like the same thing like someone go over the Triple Crown or whatever.
It's like if
You
you would
wanna
already,
see
it's
that.
like if you're in the MLB, if you would already clinched a playoff spot, like that, you clinched the playoff spot. You clinched the best that you could possibly do for the playoffs, and you're up to bat and you need a home run for the cycle. Are you swinging for a base hit because there's a guy on first, or are you swinging for the fences? Kyle, you're swinging for the fences.
I swing for the fences every time. Hopefully, it just goes somewhere.
It's a good attitude. Unfortunately, it only goes to the fence behind the plate.
That's what I'm saying.
Leave the stat in foul balls.
I might.
You might. So do you have a toast of excellence?
I
still?
do.
All right.
My toast of excellence is to the Toronto Raptors for winning their first opening game series.
Opening first game of the first round.
Yeah, in like 9 years or something like that.
They were 0-9. It wasn't in 9 years, but they were 0-9.
Yeah.
First game, 1 victory in franchise history. That's terrible.
And they almost lost that game.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah, that series is kind of whatever.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
My toast of excellence goes out to Andre Ingram, 32-year-old rookie, Los Angeles Lakers. Came in and dropped, 19? 19 points. Got MVP chance from the Lakers. I mean, it was the first time anybody in a yellow jersey besides Kobe has heard those chants since Shaq left.
And Julius Randle.
No. What?
Julius Randle.
We should have a discussion one time about we were talking about NBA teams squaring off in fights. We should do a show about that, like across the board for all
It was fun.
sports.
Like a bracket.
0-3 Pacers.
No, I'm telling you, man. 0-4 Pistons versus the 2011 Celtics.
Something like that.
KG, Paul Pierce, and Rajon Rondo versus Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince, and
They had,
Rasheed
they had
Wallace.
Kendrick Perkins too, all right?
All right, throw Ben Wallace in the mix then. Glenn Baby Davis. Rip Hamilton.
A lot of slow throwing punches going on.
Yeah. A lot of streaky shooters. But I'd watch. Would you watch it?
Yeah, they should all meet in the octagon.
Streaky shooters, strong
the
fighters.
squared circle. I'm thinking NBA Royal Rumble.
Ooh.
Could be a lot of
30-man
fun.
Royal Rumble, one person from every team.
The Sixers
It'd just
guys
be a bunch
get
of
eliminated.
it'd be a bunch of 7-footers.
Or
You get the shortest people.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah. I'd like to watch I was gonna say I'd like to watch IT fight Nate Robinson, but Nate Robinson will whoop that ass.
Probably.
Yeah, Nate Robinson's ripped. I'd like to see IT fight Earl Boykins.
With special guest referee Jimmy Kennedy.
Yuck. This one a bad way.
Soul
this one a
scratches
bad
his
way.
face.
So yeah, toast excellence. Yep. Good job, guys. Golf claps all around. Okay, I'm not golf clapping. Let's do this. Oh, fuck you, Mark. I don't know why he doesn't like that sound. I've gotten positive feedback on the sound. Sure, it was from me, but positive nonetheless.
Hey, self-encouragement's all you need.
So yeah, we got some sports news to talk
Well,
about.
hold on.
We're not okay.
we didn't do our shot trivia.
It's because Jeff's not here.
Yeah. So we all have to take a shot because,
So how does that work? Why do we have to all take the shot?
I don't know. He said it yesterday.
Hey, I was just an idea. I do have a question for you guys, though.
Answer for you.
All right. So, since 2001,
Okay.
Terrence Newman has the most pass deflections. How many deflections does he have?
That's not a real question. You can't ask that.
Yeah. 119. Easy.
119. I don't know. 58.
186.
That was closer.
Uh.
That was closer.
He's somehow the leader, and it's only because he played for a million years.
Yeah, I think he's on his, fourth team right now?
Let's see, Cowboys,
Bengals.
Vikings.
Maybe just Vikings.
Maybe it's just 3. I'll have to look that up. God, we're sports guys. We don't know anything.
Well, he's kind of like that guy.
Hey, he's been consistent. He's
He's
always
not
been a starter.
He's not a Hall of Famer.
Perhaps not, but he's always been a starter.
I'm not having an exception.
Sports.
Sports.
That was a funny commercial. I wish I still aired.
Hurry up and take that shot, bro.
Yeah, we got to pass it around. That was a good sound in the headphones. So I think probably reeks of cinnamon. It's been festering for a week now. Sure, we got some sports news to talk about. Recap on some, well, not recap, but recap / look ahead. We got NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs in the mix. So one of my favorite times of year because baseball has now become irrelevant for the next. Not in Kyle's eyes, I know it. Not in Kyle's eyes.
It's always relevant.
The fighting Phils, man. But
Second place. For now.
For now.
Yeah, Mets winning streak came to an end at 9 games?
9 games, 10-2 now.
Ooh.
Yeah, best start in our franchise history.
Now you're going to have the worst month of May ever.
Probably. Those bats are going to come real cold.
Yep, 10-152.
Oof. I'd be okay with that.
Would you?
Because it'd be a record. A bad one.
You don't want that.
Imagine dropping 150 straight games.
I might have.
Even the Browns don't do that.
They might.
Kyle, no, they wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think it's just possible to lose. I mean, how many seasons is that?
150? It's like 9, yeah. Because 10 would be 160.
9 straight winless seasons. It's just, it couldn't happen.
Yeah.
Something weird would happen, and I know it would be versus the Steelers.
Oh, yeah. All day.
Or again,
it would be like a bad
the
snap
Bucks.
on a field goal, like a 33-yarder.
they beat the Bucks.
They could also beat the Steelers.
Maybe.
They almost beat us Week 17 last year.
Well, we had Landry Jones.
Well, but
Well,
thank
you guys
God.
did- it wasn't that great of a game the first week either.
No, but thank God the Browns were the Browns, and they beat themselves. That's our only saving grace.
Speaking of football, Des Bryant, no longer a Cowboy.
Yeah,
Peter, hope you're listening.
very shocking.
I mean, yes and no. I knew it was going to happen. I just thought it was going to happen after the season. I didn't think they were going to do it now. But it makes sense. Go out and draft somebody. I just thought they'd try to trade him. But I mean, I guess cap purposes too. But I don't know.
He was like, I'm going to see you twice this year, Jerry. I'm going to see you twice.
Yeah, Kyle thinks he's going to the Redskins.
I do.
Be a good fit for Alex.
Yeah.
See, Des Bryant to me is, and I'll argue with Maxine Washable about this till the cows come home. I think Des Bryant is, he's hit a slump in his career, but I think it's only because he's playing with Dak Prescott. He killed it with Romo. Dak Prescott and him are not a good fit. They're not. Dak Prescott he's going to be like a Tom Brady type quarterback. It's going to be deep shots down the sidelines and everything over the middle. Des Bryant is he's a Brandon Marshall type, receiver. He runs routes. He's not the type of guy that runs a slant route and a streak route, and that's it. He runs the 10-yard in routes. He runs the 14-yard post pattern. He runs the hitch and go. He's runs
fairly
all those,
versatile.
He runs those routes really well, and he needs a quarterback that's going to hit him. Dak Prescott doesn't throw it down the middle of the field unless it's within 10 yards.
To Cole
Pennington.
Beasley.
Yeah.
But Cole Beasley is just the Julian Edelman of the NFC. That's just what they're becoming. So, I don't know. I think 31 other teams in the NFL would benefit from Bryant. Because even Brady, like we said, Brady throws deep down the field, but Brady could throw to Bryant. He could.
I can see him in Carolina, too. Teaming up with Cam.
You guys already know my answer where he's going.
Arizona. It's great
No.
for the hands.
No, the place where all players go to be revitalized.
He's going to New England?
Yeah, he goes to New England.
I don't think so.
No.
I hope not, but just my belief. I think any good player who's on the market goes to New England.
I don't know, man. I think he goes to Philly.
I'd like to see that.
Talking
That'd be
about
cool.
trust the process. Tweeting about it. I mean, like, I get it. Like, that's basketball, but Philly.
Or he's just gonna go, you know.
I think he either goes to Philly or Baltimore.
Him and Jeffrey on each side. Be
Well,
pretty-
they can play on the same side. There's no front of the bus, back of the bus stuff anymore, Kendall.
The point I was making is just, playing together.
I don't know. I feel like he's either going to Washington or Carolina.
Do you play either? Do the Steelers play either of those teams?
No.
That's why you picked those teams?
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
You're scared of them.
Not really.
A little bit.
A little bit.
He'll score like 12 touchdowns against you guys if you play.
No.
Yeah.
Nah.
What's going to happen is he's going to play for the Ravens, then he's going to get traded to the Bengals, then back to the Ravens, then back to the Bengals, and he's going to do a stint with the Browns last game of the season.
That would be really annoying.
Yeah, especially if he scored 12 touchdowns.
And like after week 6, I don't know how they're gonna do that.
Well, travel time's not that bad. I mean, the farthest drive would be from Cincinnati to Baltimore, but you could do that in a day. So, it's possible. It's possible.
It is possible.
All right, enough talk about that. What's going on in baseball, Souls?
Yeah.
Yeah? What? I said, what's going on in baseball?
Like-
Not yeah.
Like we said, the Mets
Yup.
are killing it. Their pitching's finally healthy.
Don't jinx us.
I'm jinxing you. It's only time before they get hurt. You already lost Jason Vargas.
Just catcher to Tommy John.
Yeah, we lost Vargas before the season even started. What does that tell you?
Yeah, and Travis d'Arnaud had Tommy John, your catcher.
Well, let's be real here. D'Arnaud is not a huge loss for us.
He's better than what you had.
Cameron Rupp.
Plawecki is a serviceable guy.
Kevin Rupp is in Texas now.
He's going to the Mets.
Do you really feel D'Arnaud is like an all-star?
No, but he's better than that guy.
You've barely even seen him play.
Okay, we'll find out what happens later on, all right?
All right, here's what's going to happen. And you could write this down. The Mets are going to go sign some guy overweight like a John Buck to somewhere. Not John Buck specifically, but
Okay,
someone
like,
like
he's been gone for quite some time.
but somebody like John Buck. Whoever it is, somebody probably playing out of position too.
Oh, so looking at the like independent league rosters, remember Ryan Kalish?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing for the New Britain Bees now.
Really?
Yeah, shout out to Ryan Kalish.
Wow. What are they playing today?
I don't know.
We better get down there or up there. Ryan
Over
Kalish.
there.
Over there.
We had a couple good Mortal Kombat fights this week. Padres, Rockies, Yankees, Red Sox.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I personally like the Rockies Padres one better than the Yankees one.
Yeah, the guy pitcher threw the glove right there, not his face.
Yeah, and
That's
then
always fun. Anytime the pitcher throws the glove at the guy, big fan.
They take the first line of defense.
and then he was kind of like backing up slowly, and then when no one was like right there, he's like, "All right, I'm out."
Peace. There's that stupid Red Sox fan too. That would see the thing going around. He wore the shirt that says Joe Kelly Fight Club. That's you violated the first rule of Fight Club.
Dumbass.
Fuck. All right, we're signing off. Thanks for listening. Make sure to tune in next week for White Noise.
White Noise Radio.
It's gonna be 2 hours of Kyle picking his nose
And exhaling.
So
on cue. What about the Cubs though? 12-run rally.
yeah, so the Braves should just be embarrassed of themselves. They're up 10-2, and then they just gave up 9 runs in the 7th inning.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Like, how do you do that?
Well, remember when the Phillies put up 17? They were like, you'd have to be the worst team in the league to give that up. Basically, the Braves did that.
Yeah, but like they're a little better than the Marlins.
Right.
But it's just like
Come on.
you have 9 runs in 1 inning. It's bullshit.
How many pitchers did they go through?
I think it was like 4.
Oh, my God.
But just get it fucking out.
Now, was the starter... It was in the 7th. Was the starter still in to
I
start
couldn't
the
tell
inning?
you. I could look it up, but I don't really want to. To be honest with you, I just know that the Cubs won that game, and I'm kind of happy about it.
J-Mart's not happy about it.
Well,
J Mart's not happy about Starlin Castro.
or a lot of Diaz for throwing the ball into deep center field.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. That's where I was segueing with that, and now
Sorry.
Say it again. Pretend it didn't even happen.
Starlin Castro Pirates just yuck. Tony Castro, bases loaded, routine sac fly. Throw it in. Guy tags up at third. Throw it into the catcher. Catcher throws it over the entire infield's head into center field where there's nobody. And what was a routine fly ball became a bases clearing sacrifice fly.
What was the center fielder though? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
What was he like high-fiving the right fielder? Because he was like not even close to center field.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think he was because I think the fly ball was to right field, so I think he was backing up the right fielder.
But even still, just run over there after. Be like, hey, all right.
Well, Cal, no right fielders, nobody's sprinting back to center field like, oh, let me get over here just in case he throws it to the warning track. I don't know why he even threw it to second. He should have just ate it.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that what you're saying?
I thought it.
Souls, we're losing you.
Yeah, you're not on the air anymore.
Uh,
Oh, there you
You're
go.
back.
I'm back.
Yeah,
You're
cut
back.
Cut him.
I'm sorry.
Get him out.
Get him out, man.
The Dodgers are finally looking like their age.
What?
They're their oldest team in baseball, and they're finally looking like it. They can't keep up anymore. They're slow as shit. I'm sorry, I love Chase Utley, but he can't play anymore.
Yeah, he is so gray. He is so
I think he'd be a
gray.
guy off the bench.
Oh, yeah, but like, a 39-year-old starting at second base. you
Yeah,
know.
it's a little embarrassing.
They have Kershaw, and that's really about it.
Well, I think they're kind of like in this honeymoon, like, hey, we made it to the World Series. Let's do it again. Ow, my back. Ow, my everything.
Ow, my everything. Let's see what we got. NHL news. Playoffs started. I think every team is 2 games in now, except for I think it's Blue Jackets Capitals. The only ones that haven't played their second game yet. Not really sure why, but it's just the way it works sometimes.
Probably just hanging out,
Yeah. But yeah, we got some interesting stuff. Penguins Flyers.
We raped them game 1, got raped game 2.
A lot of interesting stuff happening. Some real just like nasty puck work. Flip Forsberg, guy is just disgusting. There's been some pretty gruesome hits. Bruins Maple Leafs. Is that the one that's happening?
Yeah.
I might have to do a shot for that one. Yeah, Bruins Maple Leafs. They Maple Leafs have been giving it to the Bruins in terms of like dirty play. It's always interesting to see like that happen because you can't beat the Bruins in dirty play, but
They're doing it,
no, they're not. They're losing 2-0.
but they're hitting harder.
Yeah, ask J-Mart how that works when he plays NHL against me.
Hey, man.
He wins some games, but generally Jeff wins the hit column and win everything else.
They're just trying to hurt them so they don't win series number 2.
Yeah, maybe. Interesting stuff, though. We filled out NHL and NBA playoff brackets. So we'll basic format for that was just, pick the winners all the way through the brackets, and then you pick how many games, because everything's 7-game series, both playoffs. So pick the amount of games you think the series will last, and we'll tally up points at the end. So it's not going to go by who wins.
I'm going to buy. Who
Two
was luckier?
points for guessing the right winner. 1 point, though, if you guess the right amount of games.
Or whoever gets luckier.
Yeah. Kendall's going to be the guy that guesses all the games right and doesn't get any of the winners.
Yeah, that will happen for sure.
I hope not, because we have like the same thing happening in hockey.
Yeah.
So like, let's not do that. And the Predators are probably going to win in 4.
I don't know. Because the Predators, they're 2-0 against the Avalanche, but they've been getting beat bad the first period. They've been losing the first period in both games.
My brother's favorite player,
Yeah.
He's going to take him there. He's going to go to the championship again.
Who?
PK Subban.
More, come on, more.
What are you talking about? You start having a random conversation with yourself.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
You were talking about your brother. They're like, yeah, he's taking him to the championship
No,
again.
I said his favorite player is going to take him to the championship.
Yeah, but you didn't disclose that information to start. So I know who PK Subban is. I know that he's Larry's favorite player. But the listeners don't know who Larry is. They don't care who Larry is. They don't know.
They should, because he's a good dude. All right. Larry's my brother.
Thanks, Kat.
Larry's my brother.
Shout out to my brother Larry.
When's he coming on?
Tomorrow.
Nice. The day we're not on.
But I don't know. The Avalanche at home, I think they could squeak a game out. I think they could.
Just one?
That's all it takes. All it takes to derail a team is 1 game.
Then we got Vegas.
Yep. 2-0.
Expansion team. No one thought they were going to be this far.
You did.
No.
I'm sure you wrote it down somewhere in your notebook.
No.
Vegas Golden Knights are the best team ever.
You have the
says
best
Kyle
goalie
Sims.
ever, you know?
Yeah, I mean, really, so far, I think as of right now, because the Capitals Blue Jackets haven't played 2 games, I think the Penguins Flyers is the only series that's knotted up 1 apiece. Everything else is 2-0, which is interesting. All it takes is there's so many lucky bounces in hockey, but I don't know. There's so many teams out there that are like dominating right now that are like not the picture perfect people to be dominating. I mean, because you look across the board and you look at like 2 teams that like aren't even in the playoffs, the Blackhawks and the Blues, like 2 teams that have been dominating the playoffs for the past decade, have been taking deep runs. So you got, this opens up the opportunity for teams like the Flyers, the Jets, the Devils. I mean, the Maple Leafs are on the up, but like the Avalanche, it's interesting. There's a lot of hockey left. A lot of hockey.
Question for you.
Answer.
Beside the Blackhawks and the Blues, who else would you say is the biggest disappointment this year?
The Red Wings, they kind of tanked out the season, finished sub 500. St. Louis, I mean, the Islanders and the Rangers. The Rangers, not as much as the Islanders. I mean, the Rangers, I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs, but I didn't think they were going to do as bad as they did. I thought they'd at least finish better than the Hurricanes.
Stand back.
But, like, the Islanders...
There's a hurricane coming through.
The Islanders were just, like... It was one of those, like, who's going to, like, get the last goal kind of thing the whole season. Anytime you turn on an Islanders game, the final score is, like, 5-4, the other team. Like,
So
they were just ripping a goal. They were scoring more goals than anybody else in the NHL, but they were also giving up more goals.
They need a goalie.
Well, it's not just the goalie. Defense, too.
They need a goalie.
And I thought Edmonton would do better. I thought Edmonton was going to squeak in the playoffs. But not surprised they didn't. I don't know. We're on a swing here. Change of pace. So, I mean, you see some of these players, though, like, hockey's a romantic sport for the old. Is coming back next year for the Blackhawks. He had the whole year off because of some skin injury. And then the Bruins re-inked up Zdeno Chara for another year. So he'll be 60. And, this is... I don't know. It's a very interesting future we're heading towards for hockey. I mean, the one team I would be really excited to see do something, but like they just can't seem to get over that hump is Minnesota. Minnesota has a really good team. They always put together a strong season, and then it just seems to like
they get tired at the end.
They just seem to get like just outplayed in the playoffs. I mean, what was it? I think it was the year that I think it was 3 years ago, maybe. I don't remember. The Blackhawks had I think it was against the Blues. They had a round 1 series that went 6 or 7 games. I mean, everything was like to the buzzer, and then they went in to play the Wild to start round 2 and swept them after the Wild just dominated their series, and then just swept the Wild 4 games like it was no big deal.
Yeah,
it's just something that kind of always happens to them. It's not like. Because it's not like the Nationals are in baseball. Because like the Nationals are like they're gonna choke. Like the Wild don't choke. It's just like
they get outplayed. They play good, but just
they do. They just get outplayed. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Everyone just wants to up their game against Minnesota.
Maybe. Do teams like have that
shot
that rebuilding process as like baseball does in hockey? So I feel as though baseball is like that very deep farm system, and
well, so does hockey.
Well, that has the AHL, right?
But like hockey is played everywhere,
right? So
I mean, players that get signed, players like people, like the NBA, like people in the NBA like draft players that have been playing in Serbia for 2 years. They didn't go to college, like 24, and they get drafted, or like what's his face there, the kid the Knicks drafted. Frank.
Yeah.
Like he was just playing in Paris.
Yeah.
And like Markkanen too for the Bulls, right?
But is that process so arduous? Like, I mean, I feel like baseball takes forever. And even basketball sometimes. Like, look at the 76ers. It took them
5 years.
5 years.
I mean, yeah, like they definitely like every sport has like a long rebuild to it. If you're truly rebuilding from the bottom up, but like the thing for hockey too is like hockey I don't think is as hard to ride a hot streak as it is in baseball. Because in hockey, like I mean, some players like enough momentum for them is just getting on the point board, like just getting that secondary assist a game, or something along that nature. Whereas like, like in baseball, for a player it might be this way, but like in terms of like the fans and sportscasters and stuff like and like radio shows and all that stuff. I mean, like if you have a player that goes out there and plays third base and makes one or two miraculous fielding plays a game, but goes 0 for 4 every other day, like they're not really being considered like having a great season. I mean, yeah, they'll win a Gold Glove, but they'll also bat 152, and then they kind of get looked at as like, oh, this guy had a bad year. But
he had
defensively,
like 41 home runs.
But like defensively, he did really well. So I don't know. Like it's hockey it's more like basketball than it is like baseball for like rebuild purposes, because like players can be more have different like utility. Like not everybody has to be a scorer. Like I mean in baseball, not everybody has to hit home runs, but you got to be able to get on base. Like you can't just like I feel like today you can't just rely on fielding. You can't be a lights out fielder and like be the guy that everybody loves.
Freddie Galvis.
But
Billy Hamilton.
exactly. Who loves Billy Hamilton? Mock.
Reds fans.
Mock loves Billy Hamilton.
Los Rojos fans.
But but in hockey, like in basketball, I mean, like you look at people like Tony Allen. Like people love Tony Allen. Like Tony Allen was like he would demand like market attention. People would pay attention to him and sign him. But he wasn't going out and dropping 25 points a game. But he'd go out and hit 4 threes in a game and play lockdown defense on the perimeter. It's the same type of thing with like hockey players, defensemen. Defenseman's not going out and scoring 24 goals in a season for you, but he'll get you 4 or 5, and he'll get 20 assists, and he'll play lockdown defense. And players, they just have the ability to work the system more.
Except if you're Edmonton.
Yeah.
They don't do that.
No.
They let the puck go in. They're like, yeah, we'll score later.
That was the Islanders.
Well, shot for Kyle.
Yeah. Same color scheme, though.
See, I always get confused, man. Tavares is on the Oilers, right? Icelanders.
Icelanders. Nice.
So I had 2 coming my way. So you can just give that to me. Yikes.
But yeah, I mean, teams do the rebuild. So some teams are, as in any sport, build it better than other teams. Some teams are able to keep players around, like the Blackhawks. When the Blackhawks had a bad season, it happens. People are shitting all over them. It's like big fucking whoop. They made it to, they won 3 Stanley Cups in the past 10 years, and like, whatever, bad seasons happen. Is it the start of a complete rebuild? No, because they still have people like Seabrook and Keith and Crawford and Taze and Kane, and like, so they have pivotal pieces to build this youth around, and mentorship and stuff like that. It's not like a team.
Didn't Crawford get hurt too?
Yeah, Crawford missed pretty much almost the entire year.
Just a season to forget.
Yeah, it happens. Take the draft pick and run with it.
What pick are you guys gonna be?
I'm not sure. Lottery.
It's cool.
Lottery thing, yeah. But some teams are just better at it. It's hard because it's like hockey. It's like in between baseball and basketball. Like in basketball, you don't draft a player to put him in the G League for a year or 2 and then play him. But in baseball, you don't draft a player to play in the MLB. You draft them to sit on him for 2 to 3, 4 years. I mean, look at Kopech. Still not pitching for the White Sox. But hockey, like, sometimes you come right into it, sometimes you don't, sometimes you build up in the farms. I mean, Corey Crawford paid his dues for like 5 years in the AHL, playing for the Rockford Ice Hogs. And then he got his break after the Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup in 2010, and here he is.
Baseball is definitely one of those sports where it's very rare to see a player get drafted and then go right to the majors.
Well, it's never happened, right?
No, but the closest
wasn't the closest like a half a year?
it was Steven Strasburg.
Strasburg,
He pitched like a couple games in the minors, and they brought him right up.
He ended up getting hurt.
Yeah, he did, but that was like the year after.
Right.
But what hell of a debut, though. Got like 14 strikeouts against the Pirates.
Yeah. That's when the Pirates were really bad.
Yeah, they have Ronnie Cedeno.
Shout out Ronnie Cedeno.
Yeah. But, I don't know. Kyle, to you, we've already seen stuff happen. Like I said, most everything is 2-0 right now. But what's the most intriguing matchup for you in the NHL right now? The first round matchups.
Penguin Flyers.
Are you saying that just because it's the only one that's not 2-0?
No, I'm saying it because it's Battle of Pennsylvania. Big part of it.
Big part of
Pennsylvania.
I think that series can go 7. I feel like both teams are evenly matched. They both blew each other out so far, 7-0 and then 5-1, I believe. I just feel like it's going to be a more closer game now. I think Matt Murray is going to show up a little bit more. I think the goalie for the Flyers is going to show up a little bit more. I think that's Martin. I'm not sure.
Marty Martin.
What? Red Baron?
Golden Knights. Just for the sake of the expansion team, being in the playoffs first year.
But they're playing the Kings.
Yeah, but I just think, it's a team that... I get it. It's a team made up of NHL players from other teams who have experience, but it's, it's different. It's a team that it's never meshed in a playoff setting. It's incredible for them to be in the spot that they are.
And you got to face John Quick, who's pretty good.
I mean, I would pick that for any sport. The expansion team in the playoffs as being the most intriguing. Baseball, football, basketball.
Especially in year one. Because we all know how the Texans did.
Well, they didn't do that well. They won their first game.
Did they?
They did. They beat the Cowboys.
And everyone said David Carr sucked.
He just got sacked a lot. He had no offensive line. It wasn't his fault.
Poor bastard. What about you, Paulie?
Caps, Blue Jackets.
Did you see if Washington could probably win a series?
They've won series.
You know what I'm saying.
No, I don't.
Ovechkin sucks.
That's not true.
You can go ahead and do the private
I
side.
was kidding.
No, you weren't.
I was.
No, you
I was.
weren't. No, you weren't, Kyle.
I was, though.
Kyle, you're a hater of the greatest players in every sport.
Not true.
Yes, you are.
No, I just think Aaron Judge is very overrated.
Just like Tom Brady.
Dislike him. I have a lot of respect for him. He hates him.
I didn't say I didn't respect him.
I don't hate him as much as you do.
You should.
I rooted for him against the Seahawks. Why? Because I fucking hate the Seahawks.
Why?
I just fucking hate that team.
All right. No, Capitals, Blue Jackets. Because the Capitals are always going to be a high-powered team, but Columbus isn't anything to sleep on either. The first game, 4-3 in overtime. Panarin danced in a beautiful goal in overtime to win it. But the game could have gone either way. The Capitals, like I said, they lost game 1, but Ovechkin didn't even get on the goal scoring sheet on that one, so he's it's only a matter of time before he finds Twine, and it's just it's intriguing. It's the only matchup I think that could go 7 games.
TJ Oshie.
I think Flyers Penguins go 6, but I don't think it
goes 7.
I don't think it goes 7. I think Caps Blue Jackets could go 7 though. It's one of those games where the Capitals just play so strong all the time throughout the season, and they're so. I just think they're so numb to early playoff exits now that they just go for broke, and they still have really great players. Goaltending solid. They got Kuzneslov. People just got bodies that know what to do. So this is going to be the most intriguing matchup. I don't agree with Vegas though.
It's a brand new team in the playoffs. That's very intriguing. It could be versus anybody. They could be playing anybody. Them being in that series, so it makes it intriguing.
For you,
I think it should be for a lot of people.
not for me.
I think the Subans should go after each other.
Subans.
I can't remember. It'd be intriguing for me if Vegas finished in a wild card spot, like worked their way in, but they were like dominant the whole season. So they're playing the Kings. Like they should have no problem with the Kings, and they're not having any problem with them. So it's not intriguing to me. I mean, intriguing moving forward if they can go the whole way, if they can go, Western Conference Finals or better, but they've got championships on their team. Like they've got people that know what to do in the playoffs. I'm not saying like the season was captivating, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't be where they are and shouldn't be proud of that. I'm thrilled that they're there, but I don't think it's the most intriguing matchup in the first round. It's just because they've done it all year. That's the only reason. They've done it all year. They've won all year consistently. They came out real hot to start, and everyone thought it would trickle down at some point, and it never did. I mean, they didn't finish first in the league, but they still finished first in the Pacific. And I'm gonna go with that. I don't remember. Oh, but yeah, just if they were playing if they were a 2 seed playing the 3 seed, it'd be more intriguing, more well matched team. But they're playing the Kings. They're gonna sweep that series.
But John Quick has a series of a lifetime to come back.
You really think so?
He could. He has the potential to do it. If there's any goalie that can do it, I think it's him.
You think he's the best goalie in the league?
I do.
Why do you think that?
He's just very well rounded. He doesn't really give up, goals. For game 1, they only won 1-0. And I feel like he can shut down the Kings a couple games.
I'd be more intrigued to see Vegas play San Jose next round.
The Ducks.
I don't think the Ducks are gonna do it.
I do. They got they got the heart.
They definitely pull a game out at home.
They got Getzlaff.
Yep.
And they got Ryan Getzlaff and Ryan Perry, former scoring champion. So they can do it. And they have Adam Banks.
I like the reasoning. They have the heart.
They have Bombay as their coach.
Now, so just to recap, you're talking like Ryan Getzlaff and Ryan Perry, like former Nationals pitcher Ryan Perry, or
Corey Perry.
Oh, that guy. That's who we're talking about. Okay.
Steve Perry.
Steve Perry.
Just making sure we were on the same page.
Heard your mom
Corey
going out with
Perry.
Squeak.
I was like, oh man, Kyle really did some homework on some like real depth defensemen that I didn't know about.
I'm glad of the Riddlers here because I was just like nodding my head like Ryan Perry sounds good.
I know there's a Perry. I know he was a former scoring champion.
That's a shot.
Whatever. But I'm just saying,
Steve Perry.
with Bombay as a coach, anything's possible. They went in. They lost to Iceland by like 5.
You are so emotional right now.
They lost to Iceland by 10 goals, and then in the championship they beat them. Behind strong coaching, and Dean Portman and Tyler Fulton.
You just love it.
Am I wrong, Paul?
I don't know, Kyle. I don't know anymore with you.
Wish you liked Air Bud this much.
Fuck Air Bud.
Whoa.
At least Mighty Ducks could actually happen.
A dog could play basketball.
No.
And soccer. Football, I highly doubt. I'm sorry.
Baseball? No.
He can bunt. He could absolutely bunt.
He's the one in the outfield, okay? And he knew how to run the bases, which is horseshit.
Yeah, that's where I think I draw the line.
He didn't go chase the ball, all right? He knew how to run bases. However they did it, like for the movie's sake, congratulations.
You know what the biggest crime is? I don't even think it's the same dog in all the movies. I think it might be a different dog every time.
Well, that dog probably died like 6 times.
Well,
but they were trying to play basketball, and instead of hitting with the nose, like hit his neck and went south. Got real dark. I apologize.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how it went, but I just meant that the movies came out at different periods of time.
They filmed them all on the same day.
It's remarkable.
The acting made it sure seem like it.
Yeah. In the first Air Bud, the guy that was like that evil clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Mr. Noodle in Elmo's World on Sesame Street.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was also like he also was that guy that got eaten by the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park.
He's
3.
also in Sister Act 2.
Yeah, he's one of the monks. They go to the not monks, what are they called? Druid type people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get on this IMDb page. I had no idea he had all this stuff.
Is he dead now?
I don't know. Guys had the same hair though forever. I'm pretty sure he was just born bald on top and just
Well, wasn't he Airbud's like owner first?
Yeah,
yeah.
he's like an
And they
abusive
got
owner.
mad. He fell out of the truck, right?
Yeah.
Right? Was he like locked up in a tight cage and then like they hit a bump and the cage fell out of the truck?
What did they? It was some type of. Was it a Twinkie that?
Nah, vanilla pudding cups.
Yeah, there we go.
Vanilla pudding cups. Lured him out. Then they played basketball in that like heroin needle riddled field.
Next to like a swamp.
Yeah, mom had no questions as to like why this kid happened to have paint and like where did he get the money for paint? Because he painted lines on the court. Like that takes a long time for just a kid to do.
Hey, he was cutting yards. Flipping burgers.
First, was that a pun at me?
No,
You looked right at me when you said flipping burgers.
I was just looking around the room.
Kyle doesn't flip burgers
Yeah,
anymore.
those-
He yells at people to flip them.
Those burgers are microwaved
No, they're
Flame
broiled.
broiled.
I
How
don't
dare
microwave it anymore.
anymore.
We just microwave the cheese.
We don't do that stuff. Paul, you have a very intriguing glass there.
Mm-hmm.
Very excited for Facebook Live for you to show that to the world.
Why?
It's cool glass. I like it.
Wrong pipe. It's got a strong taste when it goes down the other throat. I want to. It's weird. I'm trying to like dance around. I keep wanting to say, "What are your predictions for the Stanley Cup?" But we can't do that because we've already done it. I mean, I guess we could. Nah.
Blue Jackets, Ducks.
Gross. I would want to watch that.
You would though.
I would watch it because playoff hockey is better than any other playoffs. But, ew. Just ew.
I gotta sneeze.
Bless you. Not too bad. You didn't clip?
What?
You didn't clip?
What the fuck that mean?
When? Yeah, never mind.
Kyle, you make me so happy inside and outside.
If you mean if like the thing that like my sneeze didn't go everywhere, it's all over my arm.
I meant if you didn't do it right in the microphone and the volume, we hit red. So when you clip.
Oh. Yeah, I'm just here for the fun.
We love you for it. Airbud 7. Airbud goes to college.
What's the team?
Airbud rowing.
What's the team that you're really sleeping on though, or that you think people are sleeping on in the NHL? While you think about it, I just want to. The Bruins have been playing really well since the latter part of the season, and Pasternak just last night in the rout of the Maple Leafs 7-3. Pasternak netted a hat trick in goals and assists.
Wow.
Yeah, it's 6 points. Marchand had 4 assists, I think. The game before that, Marchand was kissing some dude on the cheek that tried to hit him. I love Brad Marchand. He's like the most hated dude.
You know,
in
I'm
the
gonna
NHL.
go with the Bruins.
You think people are sleeping on him?
Yeah, I don't think
really as the
anybody-
number 1 seed in the East.
Yeah.
Really?
Just because like everybody's like when people do predictions they're like, well, the Lightning, you know, they have all the firepower. The Penguins, you know, have the chance of they're the Penguins. You can't ever sleep on them. So I just feel like everyone's like with those two teams are like not really thinking Boston.
All right. It's fair, I guess. Red Baron? Ooh, Harper.
I'm gonna go with Washington only because they have that tendency to not be able to finish in the playoffs. So maybe they're kind of an afterthought. This is the year they punch through.
You think they make it to the finals?
No, I just wanted to say it.
That's a shot then.
No, I think, but I do feel
You
though,
just lied to the viewers.
the viewers, the listeners for now. No, but the point I'm making is that it's a team that, and we all feel that like, hey, they're just gonna lose at some point. So no one's thinking about it. I think this year they make a better push than they normally would. You know, make it to a finals appearance. You know, not Stanley Cup, but conference final perhaps.
Mine's the Sharks.
Yeah?
Yeah, they got solid goaltending, good defense.
And
You know, they're not noticed as the best defense in the playoffs right now. They're not noticed with the best goaltending, but they're solid. They've got really great all around players to bring them through. You know, they've got Labanik and Sorensen
Povolonis.
and
yeah, you're forgetting the most.
and they got Couture, and then they got the Beard Bros with Pavelski and Burns there. It's just I didn't forget Burns. You think I was just gonna forget Burns?
No, he's the greatest guy on the team.
Why? Because he's got no teeth and a big beard.
Yeah. You don't need any more.
Couldn't work at Burger King.
You could. Just put a beard net around him.
It's like the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen someone wear is a beard net. It drives me nuts. But yeah, I mean, you got an interesting matchup. It's going to be all around the board. It's going to be interesting the whole way through. A lot of teams a lot of analysts are really predicting the Jets to make a deep push. I'd be really excited to see that. If the Western Conference shapes up the way it's looking like it's going to shape up, it's going to be Sharks Knights, and then Jets Predators. That's going to be two very high-powered series. It's very hard to predict who wins those series and in how many games. I mean, those are the types of series that a team could get hot and sweep, and it's the type of thing where it could be, we could see 2-1 endings in 7 straight games with overtimes everywhere. Very intriguing. And then the East, I mean, like we said, the Caps, Blue Jackets, and Penguins Flyers is still up in the air, but the Lightning look like they're going to cruise past the Devils, Bruins too, and
who's the guy in the Blue Jackets who got hit in the face? You said it happened to him all the time.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. I'll find it.
Because for that to happen more than like twice, you have really shit luck.
Yeah, dude got drilled pretty hard in the nose.
You probably will play like the next time they play.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You don't miss games for shit like that.
I'm surprised he didn't get a concussion.
Concussions aren't real in hockey.
Definitely missing like the front 2 teeth. He got some
I got hit in
dentures.
the schnoz.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That hurts. Like every time I get hit in the schnoz, I want to cry.
Schnoz.
Schnoz.
You said schnoz at first.
Go fuck yourself.
I'm just letting you know what you said.
I'm like Kevin Smith.
Oh, it was Foligno.
Kevin Smith.
Foligno. Yeah, got playing defense, sacrificed the body for a slap shot from the point, and took the puck in the mush. Bloody everywhere. It's actually been a pretty black and blue series so far.
Like it.
Thanks. It's been some pretty gross hockey injuries. Can be brutal, man. Andrew Shaw against the Bruins. 2012, is that when they played the Stanley Cup? Took a fucking slap shot. I think it was from Chara right in the fucking cheek.
110.
It probably wasn't moving 110, but probably the north side of 95. Right in the cheek, just down. Just right on, out cold. I don't think he came back to that game.
Well, I don't
Sold
think...
his stitches, though, for like $20,000 online for charity.
I can't believe somebody actually bought them.
People are crazy. There are crazy sports fans out there. Kyle, you would buy a Cole Hamels used jock.
We'll talk.
No, there's no talking. You would.
We'll talk after this show.
Would you, Kyle?
No, but I buy his underwear.
So what's the difference?
It's kind of a lateral move.
Well, boxers are different. I could wear the boxers.
So you're saying that
You're gonna wear his used boxers, but you won't wear.
I'll
used...
pitch like him, and we all know it.
Kind of do like a like Mike thing. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Like Cole.
Unless, like,
Soul's
George
Cole.
Springer's up to bat, then I don't want anything to do with that. He owns him.
Yeah, didn't he hit 2 bombs off him?
He had 3 home runs this year, all off Cole Hamels.
It's gotta suck being Cole Hamels for that. Like, just like the guy comes up, like you're just like, bases are loaded. We're down 3.
I'm probably
Intentional walk.
I'm probably gonna give up a grand slam.
Ah, my elbow, Coach.
It's like you can't throw anything at him. Like, I'm not saying Springer's God. I mean, he's good, but like just with Cole Hamels, he'll just like Vladimir Guerrero any pitch over the wall. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna throw a 22-mile-an-hour curveball in the dirt. Springer's like, I got this. Watch.
Falls to a knee.
I can't wait for Vlad Jr. to come up. He's gonna be exciting.
Yeah. What was the thing? J-Mart and I were talking about it. Vlad.
He hit a home run off of. Did he hit it off of somebody else's son?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah. He did. It was
I can't remember what it is now.
Probably Al Leiter's son.
Later.
His nephew played for the Phillies.
Really?
Mark.
I didn't realize they were related.
Yeah,
Terrible.
he's aight. I mean, like, I'd rather have him than like half the relievers we have now because he's hurt. But
So it's gonna be your new favorite player?
no, favorite player right now is probably
Odubel Herrera?
no.
yeah,
It's Franco. I
It's,
know.
it's Noah.
Aaron Nola?
Then probably gonna go Reese.
Ew.
He's good.
Ew. That can't be your favorite player.
Why?
Because that's nobody's favorite player.
Reese? He's probably a lot of people's favorite player in
No
Philadelphia.
way. No way.
And he wears my number.
10.
17.
16.
What?
17.
Cesar Hernandez wears 16.
Kyle, do you remember he played for the Brewers for a long time, Casey McGehee?
Yeah.
That was nobody's favorite player.
It's McGee, by the way.
It's actually McGehee.
Is it?
It's McGehee.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I thought it was McGee. It's McGehee.
Oh, fuck that guy. He went to Japan twice.
Yeah, I was really disappointed when it was McGehee and not McGee. I kept hearing him say, "Who are they talking about?" And I looked like, "No, that's Casey McGee. They're saying it wrong." I had a whole crisis.
What about him?
I lost my train of thought. What I was saying. Now I'm all
At least Reese
bothered
Hoskins
about.
is like,
Oh.
22.
Well, that's the age has something to do
And
with
he's
it.
pretty fucking good. He wasn't really good.
He was okay. He hit home runs.
Are you sure? He was a Brewer? Yeah.
Yeah, he was a Brewer.
I think he was very good, though. He went to the Marlins, too. Remember
He
that?
was. Yeah, I remember he was a Marlin. Let me get you that jersey.
Which one?
McGehee.
Which one?
Oh, Brewers.
Oh,
Brewers.
okay.
It's gotta be the Brewers. Can't be the Marlins.
No.
Russell Brandon?
So Brandon. Also, great player. We should get jerseys. We should all get a jersey of each team he played for.
And then find the song.
Yeah, you could be the Indians. I don't know what I want.
Brewers?
You want to be the Brewers?
You could be the Brewers.
All right, I'll be the Brewers.
I'll be the Mariners.
See, I kind of want to. Well, all right, fine. You be the Mariners. I'll be the Brewers.
Jeff could be the Indians.
You be the Indians.
Paul, you want to be the Yankees?
Yeah.
Perfect. And Mark,
Free agent.
free agent. Free agent jersey.
Russell Brandon.
Yeah, that's a great song. We'll have to try to dig it up for you. Russell Brandon, he had a home run song. I think it was only in Cleveland. I don't think it went everywhere with him.
Hit it over the canyon.
Yeah, those are the lyrics. It's like a really weird, like barbershop quartet voice.
I found it. Here it is. Guerrero, Vlad Jr. Took Mesa Jr. deep.
Jose Mesa Jr.
Yeah, but Vlad never hit a home run off Jose Mesa.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. That's why it was cool that happened. All that research, nobody thought it was cool.
I'm excited.
This
for
has
him.
been
He's
a
gonna
real rocky road hour for some of us.
He's going to be really good.
Yeah. Is he taking a major league at bat yet?
Nah, they're waiting for they're doing that stupid fucking waiting until a certain point of the year to bring him up so they get an extra year of control.
Ah, gotcha. Kind of like the Yoan Moncada type of deal.
And they did the Braves did it with Acuna, but he's
Moncada?
batting 138 right now in AAA, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna stay down there for a little bit more. They did it with Chris Bryant, but he came up as soon as it was time.
Yeah. Well, you guys want to take a break? Come back, talk some NBA action?
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
sure.
We'll see.
Or
There's-
more
there's a-
air, bud.
There's a lot
Or-
going on in the world of soccer these days.
Sure, I mean,
Masters wrap up.
Air Bud is pretty cool, though.
Yeah. Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and everybody else.
The gang's all here.
Not true.
Not
minus
true,
the
I
gang.
lied.
Yeah. The gang's all here, minus half the gang.
The trio is here.
Yeah.
The trio.
Well, our flagship show, the Air Bud Hour, is really taking off now. Real quick, Riddler, we have some breaking news.
No, we don't.
We do.
We don't.
Well, I just have to say it then. Brother Souls and I, we've come to terms and elected to trade. I now have
Didn't
A
like
tiny-
it, Souls?
I didn't like it.
Uh,
It tasted like very cinnamon to me.
cinnamon.
But I do now have lights.
You do have lights out.
That looks like lights on.
It is.
You get a shot for that.
It is lights on.
So
It is, in fact, lights on. Well, I'll tell you, I will take my shot
okay,
for sure. But let's get ourselves
situated.
situated first.
Situated is the word that you're looking for.
Is what we're looking for. And we are.
Can I buy a vowel, please?
No, we're out. You may have a Y.
we are Facebook Live this hour, so make sure to head over to the... still having trouble with the Getting Sports with Drunk, sharing it on the...
Have you found it on PPRN or no?
Yeah.
I look jacked in that.
Let me see if I can.
Well, make sure to go to PPR Radio Network for now.
We'll see if we can get that.
And,
Yeah, I texted Peter too. I can't change it from here. So it says with Andrew Bagliarelli. That's not true. He's not with us. He's not here today. I'm sorry. If you guys were looking for him, it's just us.
Look jacked up there.
You are.
Look behind you. Look how big I look.
Well, too, I got to fix Paul.
You gotta fix me.
Yeah, we just got a shot of his chest.
Look at those.
Pretty big chest, bro.
Yeah, the girls like it. It's not
There we
easy.
go.
It's not easy being cheesy, but
Look at that beautiful face over there.
we do what we can here, you know.
And Souls, you're jacked.
I never thought how big my arms are until now.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like Eddie Transcendent. Shout out to Eddie Transcendent.
shout out to Eddie. I don't even... Eddie, we love you. Please don't let Kyle butcher anything about you.
You're a good dude.
And a friend of the show.
That's right.
We got to have him on.
Friend of ours. Friend of the show. He's a friend of ours.
Friend of ours.
Yeah, he's a good dude, Ken.
He's a good dude. He's a great dude. We're gonna set up an arm wrestling tournament. You and him.
He'd win
Hey, you can pull out a.
because he's bigger than me. I just look big on the camera.
Right, but I mean, if you could cheat, like throw some sand in his eyes,
Tickle him.
tickle him,
Woo!
anything goes. We gotta be prepared. He's gonna cheat too. He's gonna do whatever it takes to win.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know if it's one of those things. I shared it from the but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I shared what you posted, so just look for it on Facebook.
Yeah.
You're on Facebook all the time anyway. Go out and find it.
Yeah. You can search Paul Riddell Jr. I shared it on my personal page. I didn't see it on the PPRN page, and I shared it with the Getting Sports with Drunk page, but I think because it's a page, it has to be posted, not shared.
Maybe.
Like if we share it, it shows up on feeds, but it doesn't show up on our page. We
Um,
gotta figure this out. Mock just complains about it every week, but doesn't fix it. Damn social media guy.
Yeah, he's fucking terrible at it.
Yeah. Anyway, so this hour we're talking NBA. Here, it's gonna want me to show you this glass. Bring it over to the Souls. Put it in front of that camera over there so you can see it. That one right there. Put it in front of there so you can turn it so you can see the logos.
let's just look at that.
And that's
Some rockets
Yep.
there.
Yep. It's got all the different team logos on it.
Spinning it around.
But yeah. So NBA, fun stuff.
Playoff started yesterday.
Yeah. It's Golden State
San Antonio.
whooped some San Antonio ass.
Oh, Greg
Philadelphia.
Popovich, so funny in his
Yeah,
interview.
post game interview.
When he had the
What happened
Gatorade
out
thing
there?
up there.
What happened up there? They played better than us. Did you watch the game? Philly putting the ass whooping on Miami.
The hurt.
The second half hurt really.
Yeah, they were up by. He were up by 4 in the first half, and then
Yeah, he played pretty well
all of a sudden,
in the first half, and they were bricking everything, and they just kept trying to drive the lane, and like I'm not really sure why Hassan Whiteside wasn't playing. Like, I mean, I get if he wasn't playing that great, but they didn't have him beat. Like Hassan Whiteside could have his way with Ilyasova down low.
they started with Amir Johnson. I don't know if that makes a difference, but
Hmm?
Amir Johnson started the game. He just didn't play after the first quarter.
Well, I think they started him to be big bodied with Whiteside, but then Ilyasova got hot.
Yeah.
So Embiid's hoping to be back game 2 or 3. See what happens. Get the Phantom of the Opera mask going on. Weird. It's a weird thing to wear. Just wear a normal fucking mask. Because
It's either that one or it's the Black Panther mask.
they're both terrible. I
Yeah.
don't understand why people are like, I'm going to wear the blacked out mask. Why? Like, what does that do for you?
It's like you're not playing outside. There's
Yeah.
lights all around you.
Pelicans upsetting Trailblazers at home. Or away, technically. The Pelicans were away. Squeaked out a 2-point victory. They were actually leading by a little bit more
Yeah,
throughout the second half there. Portland climbed back in it, but
Just a little bit too late.
yeah, it was I forgot who did they have they had somebody take the last shot. I forget who it was.
Was it Evan Turner?
No. Damn, I don't remember what it was. Oh well, not important. But it wasn't. Either way, it wasn't McCollum and it wasn't Dame. So
Was it Al Farouk Amino?
I don't think so. I don't. Remember
Now I'm
who it was.
confused. Who did they have out there?
Might have been you.
Pat Connaughton?
Yeah. Covington?
Connington.
Connington.
Covington's a Philly.
Yeah, I get confused between the two.
How?
Their name.
Oh.
Not by the way they look.
They don't look alike.
No, not by there's their name.
One's very white.
Oh, it was.
I'm aware.
That one's Pat.
Yeah.
Pat Connaughton.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
The hell is he doing out there?
It's funny because this account I follow on Instagram, not SportsCenter, they posted a thing. The comment was, down by 3 at the end of the game, rather than going to Damian Lillard or CJ McCollum, the Blazers went to ... Pat Connaughton. And then the picture was the announcers from the Dodgeball movie. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it wins off for him. It was just so funny. And then what's the other game? What are we missing? The other game that happened.
Raptors was.
Oh yeah, Raptors. Raptors beat the Wizards. Wizards actually played a pretty good game throughout the whole.
They're up by
regulation
1,
there.
and then Toronto went on a 10-0 run to really
Yeah, I mean,
be able to lead.
I think it's one of those things. I don't think Toronto's really going to have an issue with Washington. I just think they kind of need to get their feet underneath them a little more.
Do you think Washington expects like John Wall to just take over, and it's just not?
Listen, it's not going to
his-
work. They played a lot better without John Wall.
Yeah, there's only one player in the NBA that can take over, and it's LeBron. No other person can do it.
And we'll find that out today if he can beat Indiana.
But do you think that's what's happening? They're like, hey, John, do your thing, and it's just not.
Well,
happening?
he has a good supporting
Yeah,
cast.
it's got Kelly Oubre and Porter.
And Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal, yeah. But I mean, even though he's old, Gortat can hold his own down low, especially against a team like Toronto.
And they have Markieff Morris.
They've got a good team around him.
They have no bench depth. That's a big problem.
They don't have bench depth, and I don't know.
I mean, I think that like if there's one 8 seed that can beat the 1 seed, it could be the Wizards over the Raptors. That's only if the starters play the entire fucking game.
It's one of those things. Like for me, I think John Wall, like he's definitely very talented and a great scorer. But I think like John Wall is more so one of those players that like he's either on or he's not type of deal. Like he's not like a LeBron James, Steph Curry, KD, even like a Jimmy Butler type of player like that. Just can go out and just like a bad game for him is 6 of 15 shooting for 20 points. Like John Wall's either dropping like 28
45.
with like 11 assists and 6 steals, or he's getting like
10 points.
10 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, and a steal. Like he's
Bring
just,
your mic a little closer. I'm sorry.
Oh, I apologize.
That's okay.
I don't think it's John Wall having to go out and take over. I think it's the rest of the team like playing to his level. Whatever level John Wall brings to the court, I feel the rest of the team plays to that level.
I'm sorry. I want to go back a second. Now, does Gortat start anymore?
Yeah.
He does start. Okay.
Baldwin.
Man, Baldwin, one of the best to do it.
Doesn't he have like a mohawk now?
Yeah.
What did he shave that?
I don't know if he shaved. He had a mohawk.
I'm pretty sure he had a mohawk yesterday.
Too. He is a pretty ridiculous looking individual. But yeah, it is. I don't know. It's funny.
I'm excited for the Pacers Cavs game.
Oladipo versus LeBron.
Well, it's more like LeBron versus the Pacers because the Pacers play pretty good together.
Yeah.
The Cavs just have LeBron.
Well, I think it's kind of all the time is LeBron versus any team that they play. I mean,
It's just like, can the Cavs finally put it together? Or is it just... They have a potential to me to be knocked out in the first round. I don't think they do, but I think they can definitely lose to the Pacers because they beat them 3 times this year.
the Pacers did.
Yeah, they beat the Cavs 3 times.
Well, this game's close? Or was it just kind of
I think the Pacers blew them out once or twice.
Wow. So it's definitely LeBron's time to kick into gear then.
Yeah. I don't know. LeBron, like I said, it's one of those things. He can do it. I don't know. A lot of people are having all this speculation that's like we have all this ability to see a really great NBA playoffs for the first time in a while with new faces making their way to the finals. But everyone's like, it's just going to end up being Golden State and Cleveland. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I mean, Golden State, I think, has the better chance of making it than Cleveland, but I don't think either of them do.
Honestly, without Curry, I mean, granted, they won. And Javon Green's like, oh, yeah, we can win without Curry. You're playing a Spurs team that's it's aging very quickly.
Yeah.
And 2, they don't have their best player.
Yeah.
And LaMarcus Aldridge, he had a great year this year, but he can't do it. He's not one of those guys that could do it himself. He's not a forward. He's not a ball handler. He's a power forward.
Well, I need LeBron to make it to the finals because he'll ruin his streak otherwise of, 35 straight final appearances, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'd be bummed. I want him to go until he retires.
Nah, I don't. Unless it's with the Sixers.
Just won't let it go. Hey, you never know.
Well, I don't know. I'm not getting into that. It's more important talks right now. That's free agency talk, which will happen very soon.
We'll talk about the next show. That's free agency.
Yeah, Kyle's already drooling at the dick for it.
Oh, yeah. Kind of.
I'm also really excited to see the Jazz.
The Yaz?
Yep.
How did I shot? I always say the Yaz.
No, you don't.
But why do you call them the Yaz?
The reason why I say Chez's cheese or
No,
or Grenben's or
but Yaz doesn't make sense. You're replacing the J with a Y.
or a silent J.
I feel like that's just more shots.
I agree.
Nah, I do my thing.
Real quick, I want your guys' opinion because you guys have a much greater NBA knowledge than I do. Let's rewind and pretend Hayward stays in Utah. How do you think it kind of shapes up? Let's say they make the playoffs. What do you think the escape of that team is with him in this playoff setting?
It's a hard question because if Gordon Hayward stayed, they probably wouldn't have gotten Donovan Mitchell.
Correct.
Really?
Because Donovan Mitchell was originally drafted by Denver.
They
traded.
And they traded him to Utah because Gordon Hayward left, and I think the Jazz really wanted him.
Yeah.
So they made a trade for him.
So,
and Mitchell was the impact guy for them.
Yeah,
down the stretch.
Mitchell's the first player since Carmelo Anthony to lead his team in scoring and make the playoffs.
Wow.
And as a rookie.
At the All-Star break, the Jazz were not even in the playoff hunt. And
they bumped up real quick.
Yeah,
they were fighting for an 8 seed 1 week, and then the next week they were at the 4.
Yeah.
And I was like, what happened?
Well, they were the 3 seed, and then they won, but they dropped to the 4 somehow, which I didn't understand.
Yeah, it's just one of those.
Oh, no. They played the Blazers, and then they
so you guys feel like with Hayward, they wouldn't have made it at all?
No, they would have made it.
They would have made it. They would have made it. I mean, maybe not a 4 seed. Probably would have finished maybe 5 or 6. But
it's a different team.
Yeah, it would have been They wouldn't have.
And Jay Crowder, since he's been moved from Cleveland to Utah, has played a lot better.
Yeah.
Because Utah's the type of team for him
mm-hmm.
that he can thrive off of because they're defensively sounded, and he doesn't have to just give the ball to the superstar. They all play well together.
Right.
And that team, honestly, if I'm the Rockets or the Warriors, I don't want to play Utah because they're very defensively sounded.
Very.
With Rudy Gobert, Derek Favors, Jay Crowder, Donovan Mitchell's pretty good defensively. So that's a team that I wouldn't want to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, me neither.
That's Rookie of the Year, most likely, right, Souls?
Any other year, but not this year.
Just won't.
It's another argument that can be saved for a different show.
Oh, I wish Jeff were here.
It's not. I'm just saying,
listen, Jeff would agree with Ben Simmons being Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's just fact.
It's just
I know
it's a dumb fucking rule.
But he's not. He's still considered a rookie.
Yeah.
So he's probably gonna get it.
Right. For me, what I hated is how he's like, yeah, me, 100%.
Him?
Yeah, when he said it.
Well, what else are you gonna say? No, it's not gonna be me.
But it's not a humble thing to say. It's like, hey.
Well, Mitchell's not making it very humble either. Then he's the one wearing sweatshirts and shit, saying, "Nah, bro."
I think that's only because of Simmons.
It doesn't matter. It's a competition for the. It's an award that really doesn't fucking matter.
Hey, it matters. It matters for people like us who need to ask trivia questions and stuff like that.
I think the Western Conference matchups that are happening today are probably the 2 most intriguing playoff matchups for me so far. I think because the Timberwolves they're a weird team. They really fell apart at the end of the year. I mean, granted, Butler wasn't there.
I think that's the reason why they fell apart like that.
Was because Butler wasn't there?
Yeah.
I mean,
and Wiggins
we were talking about it. How fairy tale ending was it that the final game of the season was Timberwolves Nuggets fighting it for the 8 seed, and it went into overtime, and it was a close fought game. But the Timberwolves are a team that can put up a lot of points in a very gaping open paint for the Rockets. They're going to have to worry about Cat, who can put up a boatload in a hurry. You know,
But they could also give up a boatload in a hurry.
yeah.
Real quick, for people who are like me, CAT stands for Carl Anthony Towns. He goes by CAT.
Yep.
Hey, not over the board, guy.
Just
I'm just saying.
have hands.
No, the point is, it's a very expensive board.
I
If
get
we
it, and I
drop
apologize, but you still have hands.
I do have the hands. It's out of respect. But CAT stands for Carl Anthony Towns. Remember that scene in Family Guy where Lois she's playing like shortstop and it's like 6 points for a touchdown. No, just
Nope.
me. All right, well, I'll just do 2 shots. I'll just finish the bottle actually.
But like you said, the Rockets and the Timberwolves are the two teams that can give up 20-0 runs and then go on 20-0 runs.
Yeah, that's a fun matchup.
Yeah, it's.
I feel like Minnesota can beat Houston,
Mhm.
but if it was Denver, I think Houston would have no problem sweeping Denver.
Yeah, you see that. And then just the Jazz
Thunder.
Thunder matchup.
Very intriguing.
Yeah, because Utah is very sound defensively, and for Oklahoma to beat the Jazz, they need to have more than one of their big three step up every game. I'm not saying that like Melo and Paul need to combine for 60 points,
Melo needs to at least get 15.
but it's just not just Melo though. But I'm saying because there's been plenty of games where Paul George has been off. I mean, didn't Donovan Mitchell finish with like averaging more points than Paul George this season?
Not a.
But I just think it's one of those things that it can't just be Westbrook, you know? And probably the most intriguing like position matchup the whole first round is going to be Steven Adams and Gobert.
Yeah,
That's two physical, you know,
they're both end up with like 6 points.
6 points and 80 rebounds.
I have a question for you guys.
No.
So granted, they've been there before. Do you feel that this is Westbrook's best chance to win now?
No.
Because he.
No. That...
Let me finish.
Okay.
Durant is one guy. Now, granted, Melo is older, and George is, I don't know how old he is, but we're talking about 2 guys versus 1. Do you think that's a better? The odds are better for him than when it was Durant, Westbrook, running.
No.
Peter says that this isn't the Peter Pino show. Change the title on the video. Sam Amateur.
I'll change it.
But to your question, no, Kevin Durant is better than Paul George, and
Yeah, Kevin Durant's one guy, but he's one really good guy.
like
It's
Carmelo.
like saying LeBron's one
You gotta
guy.
also remember Carmelo's not Carmelo anything anymore.
No, neither of them are anything.
Well, Paul George is still good.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that Thunder team, when they went to the finals, had one hell of a good bench. This team has none.
I think that yeah, can we just
Peter,
talk about real quick, like the Thunder being like, they're like the Buffalo Bills of the NBA. Look at all these players that like were bench players or like fringe starters that went on to have great careers elsewhere. Harden, Oladipo.
Yeah.
I mean,
Responding to Peter, I deleted that stuff before we went on. That's why I don't understand.
sure you did.
I did.
Sure you
I
did.
did.
It's whatever.
Yeah, sure you did. We're Team Peter on this one.
Well, we are on the PPRN
Well, no,
network.
like Kyle and I are like specifically on Peter's side, is what we're saying. No, this is not the best chance for Russell Westbrook to win a title. The best chance for Russell Westbrook to win a title is probably in 3 years from now.
When the
When
Warriors are done.
when they draft correctly. And they can, when they draft correctly and get the right stuff over them, they're not going to make a splash now.
They could probably lose in the first round.
They probably will.
That series would probably go to 7.
It's going to be tough. Be interesting. It's one of those, it's going to be a real home court advantage situation.
Mhm.
Because Oklahoma gets loud and Utah's going to be, fans are going to be pumped to be there.
They're always pumped to be there. They're like, oh my God, we made the playoffs again.
Yeah, I think Westbrook's best chance to win a championship if he stays like with the Thunder would be like 3 years from now, because George isn't going to be there anymore. Melo's not going to be there anymore. They're going to give Westbrook, the contracts that he deserves when that time comes. I think that they give Adams the money he wants when that time comes. And I think that they try to fill in with draft pieces and low-key free agents around him and make a team, make a well-rounded, kind of like a Wizards team, like a well-rounded team, and it's just Westbrook's team. Westbrook, I mean, like last year was kind of like one of the only time in his career where Westbrook was the guy and it was his team, but like still didn't really have good depth in the bench. The starters were not. The team didn't mesh that well, and they were just lucky to get where they did in the seedings.
It's amazing to say this, and I'm kind of mad at myself for saying this, but the Thunder could really benefit from using Andre Roberson.
Yeah,
like he's terrible offensively, fantastic defensively, and then if you add a Corey Brewer, you could put him as a 6-man and give your bench a little more depth.
Yeah.
He's not great, but he's better than what they fucking had.
I think it has intrigue to be an exciting series, but really both teams are playing to lose to the Rockets. I mean, granted, the Rockets could lose to the Timberwolves. I don't think it will happen, but it could. But assuming the Rockets beat the Timberwolves, both teams they're just playing to lose to the Rockets. They're playing to lose to the Rockets in 5.
The Thunder would beat the Rockets.
You think so?
I think they can. I think it's a good possibility that they can beat them. To me, the Rockets don't get it done in the playoffs. And Chris Paul has not done it in the playoffs yet. James Harden hasn't done it yet. I just feel like even in the Western Conference, it's not Rockets Warriors. Like any one of those teams can win. Like the Rockets were so dominant in the year, yeah. But like I said,
hey, this is the year they brought them together.
In the playoffs, they never got it done. Like even historically, when Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming were together, they never got out of the first round. No matter how,
but that team wasn't that good.
Yeah, but no matter what seed they were, they still never made it out of the first round.
And let's be real too. Yao Ming was not a funny guy.
You're right. He wasn't funny.
He wasn't. James Harden, fairly funny guy.
What does it do with anything?
It has everything to do with everything.
Chris Paul's a funny guy. Does all those State Farm commercials.
It's a great point. You're in the court. You're
Oscar from The Office.
Listen, the Rockets
Really
are very well-rounded. They're very. But if all it takes is for one series for their 3-ball not to be on, and they're in a lot of jeopardy.
But that's not going to happen. You're saying you're going to have a whole series where the 3-ball's not on?
It'll be a lot of
I get it.
Like 4 or 5 games. Like
that's not going to happen.
No, but I'm just saying.
When does that happen? I mean, I understand what you're saying, but when does that happen? 4 or 5 games for all of them to be off on the 3.
I got 2 words for your souls. Trevor Ariza.
He's a guy that would be very bad if the 3-ball was off. But Harden and Paul can all score without the 3.
Eric Gordon cannot. Well, he could. Ryan Anderson cannot.
Yeah.
Nor Clint Capella.
Or Trevor Ariza. Well, Trevor Ariza could slash, but
he doesn't really do much anything else.
He could slash, but he's got to be it's got to be a mismatch. It's gonna be Trevor Ariza being guarded
by Isaiah Thomas.
Well, Isaiah would probably give him a fit because it's quick. I'm thinking more being guarded by
Can we just
Melo?
Back to the Eastern Conference for a second. What do you guys think about the Bucks Celtics series?
Yuck.
With Kyrie, I say that the Celtics win easily, but they don't. So I have a feeling that they can win. I think the Bucks can win in this series.
Yeah, but it's still going to be a gross series.
It's not far fetched.
I think the Celtics win.
It's just going to be Giannis versus it's going to be Giannis versus a team that collectively each gets 15 points or 12 points. They're going to oh, look at this. The Celtics are the first team ever to have every player score in double digits. Yeah, but they all only got 10. And they only played 9 guys.
It was remarkable.
Giannis, first guy ever to get 90 points in a playoff game, ends in a tie. I don't know.
The Bucks underachieved this year, big time. They have talent.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, let's talk Al Horford for a second.
What about him?
That was kind of a cue for you guys to pick up where I left off. Let's talk Al Horford for a second.
He's a soft big man.
He's wanderlust. He's playing out his career on a team that should have been the best team in the NBA.
And that's why the Celtics will win.
They're not going to
Let's just kindle furthering his hatred for Boston sports.
They're not going to win.
I don't think the Celtics get out of the first round. I don't. I just don't think that they have the ability to keep up with Giannis and the rest of the scoring threats.
So it's Thibodeau for or
No, Timberwolves is Thibodeau.
Who are you
So-
trying to talk about?
Yeah,
head coach for Milwaukee?
Honestly, I have no idea. It was Jason Kidd, and I forgot who the fuck they had.
yeah.
Kyle, honestly, I have no idea.
It's Joe Prutney.
Who?
But yeah, that's probably the best thing too for me. Is I'm a huge fan of watching the interconference play in the playoffs. You get to watch the Houston Rockets go up against the Minnesota Bulls.
That's right.
Yeah, Taj, Rose, Butler, Thibs.
Hey, they have Aaron Brooks too.
I forgot about that.
He didn't play, but
You
he's
should,
on the
Yeah.
team.
you should make some Minnesota Bulls apparel.
Yeah, honestly, really, if it wasn't past the trade deadline, I'd write a letter to Minnesota being like, look, just trade your second round draft pick for Tony Snell. Just do it and make it happen. Sign Joakim off the waivers. Just
That team is very old now.
which one?
Oh, if you brought all the Bulls players to Minnesota,
Why is it old?
besides Jimmy Butler, everyone else is pretty much like old. That just seems old.
Yeah, but then they have Wiggins and Cat.
Yeah, Wiggins is actually pretty pissed he's the third option now, but it's like, bro, you haven't really done anything yet.
Why is he pissed?
I don't know. He was like, I don't want to be the third option anymore. It's like,
Then
bro,
go play for a team
then do something.
that only wants you. Like that's the problem. That's the problem with the NBA. Everybody wants to be their own their superstar on the team and wants to be the guy that drops 30 points. And sorry, but if your name's not LeBron James, you're not winning championships. Steph Curry is not winning championships without Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. End of story. KD sure as hell is not winning a championship without those players on his team.
That's right.
I mean, even the 06 Heat. Like they had Shaq and Alonzo Mourning and White Chocolate.
And Dwayne Wade.
Well, I'm saying for Dwayne Wade,
Yeah.
though. Like I'm saying it wasn't just Dwayne Wade's team. When the Mavericks won, it wasn't just Dirk. I mean, really, since 2000, LeBron James is the only player that's won a team with, like, won a championship without like a really good supporting cast. I mean, he had Kevin Love and Kyrie, but
Hey, did that Heat team have
Kyrie
any,
got hurt too sometimes.
any house on that Heat team? Come on, you guys gotta know this stuff.
He probably didn't really play.
But was he on the team?
He might have been. It
yeah,
was either that or he was on the Bobcats at the time. Your choice.
I'm not sure. I think he might have been on the Heat.
Oh, if he
Gary
was-
Payton was also on that team.
He was.
If he was, I'm going on NBA Shop and getting a finals jersey of Eddie House. I'm gonna wear it.
You gonna buy it?
I'll buy it.
Or you make someone else buy it?
I don't
for
think you can. You can't do it on NBA Shop. You have to
Well,
get it from
I'll
Japan
have to go on the.
because I don't think you can add finals patches to jerseys, and they definitely don't have an Eddie House finals jersey.
Don't
like,
crush
anywhere.
my
already
dreams. I mean, come on.
You get Eddie House
This-
college jersey.
I don't want that. I want the real deal.
I'd like a Vince Carter Tar Heels jersey.
They sell those a lot. Oh, let's talk about him too. Where do you think he plays next year?
I think this is
See,
it.
like you want to say for a contending team, but he's going to play for some ass team.
So he can actually play.
Yeah, come to Chicago. I'll buy everything, all of it.
You know where I think you're gonna go?
Toronto.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is it.
No, he already said he's
He already said he's
coming
coming back.
I think he goes back on his word.
back. I think he goes to
He
Toronto.
won't go
for
on.
a
He won't go back on his word. Teams just wouldn't sign him. But I think a team will sign him.
I think Toronto.
That's the problem with the NBA. Is the NBA now teams have to spend. Teams are required to spend so much money now, and bench depth is such an issue for so many teams that somebody would sign him.
Like 1 year, $15 million.
Yeah.
Not worth it anymore, but he'll get it.
But he can be. That's the thing. I think Vince still can be worth that.
Do we even know his numbers in Sacramento this year?
No,
Like that was the
come on.
one team like I never really paid attention to. 'Cause I just always thought they were gonna lose.
I'm pretty sure he started the whole year, though.
I know he started a lot.
I think he started the whole year.
And Zach Randolph really blew my mind on why he signed there.
Team that gave him the money.
Yeah, he didn't have a great year.
All right, let me guess this line. He averaged 11 points a game. Look, 11 points a game, 3 rebounds, and a half an assist.
He got the 3 rebounds. He averaged 1 assist, 3 rebounds, and 6 points in 17 minutes.
How many games?
I don't know.
Whatever. It's not really relevant.
Hey, it's important.
But it just falls back to the argument, though. He played 58 games. When it falls back to the argument, though, that teams need bench, they need depth. And I mean, yeah, 6 points is not a lot, but like Vince, he still plays decent defense. He's a team player. He's a
Can't
good
dunk anymore though.
He's a good. Well, he still can. He just can't dunk like the Vince Carter we know. I'm pretty sure if we took Vince and brought him to Community Lake in Hartford, in Wallingford, and was like, "Hey, could you do a windmill right now?" He would pull out a windmill that would just throw us in awe.
Yeah, probably.
He's just not. I mean, the guy's 40.
No, just for everybody, Kendall.
It's not my name.
Who was the most disappointing team this year?
I mean, in terms of like standings,
Like not making the playoffs. Like who you
oh,
thought
okay.
was like was it
I was gonna say Boston.
like who you thought was a lock in for the playoffs but didn't make it.
Well, I kind of
Denver.
Never.
thought the Clippers at the start of the year would be much better. I didn't anticipate them trading. Well, think about it.
No, I
I
understand.
did. I anticipated a trade, but I thought it was going to be DeAndre, not Blake.
I didn't anticipate it neither.
That trade blew my mind because they just gave him a freaking big contract in the beginning of the year, and they're like, "You know what? You're going to Detroit," which he was pissed about, by the way.
He was at first. Now he's happy about it.
Is he?
I think so.
I figured that, with the two playing together, at least, hey, maybe you get a 7th, 8th seed, perhaps. I mean, it's not a great team by any stretch of the imagination, but at least together, they're two players that are good. But
My disappointing team is Charlotte.
yeah,
I really thought they were going to make a push for like the late, like.
I didn't think so because they, much like John Wall, they rely on Kemba too much. The team plays to Kemba's standards.
Well, everyone I thought Batum was going to have a better year. I thought the addition to Dwight would bring him a little bit over the top to make him an 8 or 7 seed.
Mine is Denver, and I mean, granted, they missed it by
Game.
a shot,
Mm-hmm.
by a shot, not a game. They missed it by 5 minutes of overtime. But realistically, looking back at the rest of the season, I mean, they finished with 46 wins on the season, but looking at how much of a struggle San Antonio was this year, like New Orleans, I mean, you couldn't predict Donovan Mitchell doing what he did. You couldn't predict Portland finishing the 3 seed. I mean, I think a lot of people had them finishing higher up this year, but Portland played really well this year. They missed the 50 win mark by a game. Minnesota was a kind of a
You
we're
started
not
off
sure.
great, and then
We're not sure, but Denver, in my opinion, I think Denver should have made the playoffs. Denver should have been an 8 seed.
they're still very young though.
Oh yeah, they're going to be good down the line. But if I'm Denver, if I'm the team, if I'm the front office, I'm disappointed in our season.
I get rid of fucking Wilson Chandler. How do you play?
Send him to the Knicks.
You said you played 48 minutes in that playoff game and didn't score a single fucking point.
It's crazy.
He's been terrible all year. He couldn't score the ball at all. Just dump his contract, get him out of there. Try and get a small forward that can actually score a little bit. I think that fixes their problem.
Yeah.
There's no reason for playing 48 minutes and not scoring for a guy that can shoot like he can.
True.
Now, what about playoff wise? Who was a big disappointment?
What do you mean?
Like, who's in the playoff now that you thought would be better?
Boston.
Why?
Because Boston should be going to the Eastern Conference Finals this year.
But the loss to Kyrie is probably the big reason why they won't.
So that's
well,
disappointment.
That's disappointment.
Okay.
They lost Gordon Hayward
Well, that's
5 minutes into the season, and then they lost Kyrie to finish it out. That's that's the definition of disappointment. I mean, the team played great all year, and they continued to play decent without Kyrie. But in terms of just fans, team,
right.
front office, the morale of both Hayward and Irving.
I think the growth though helped them.
Yeah, but think about the hype. That's my biggest disappointment. I mean, you think about that whole offseason, like, oh, what's going to happen with Hayward? This and that, and then Kyrie.
If you want
his chance to
if you want to
run the
subject
team.
it to not injury base, then it's going to be Minnesota, because Minnesota's probably going to get a first round exit, and Minnesota realistically should have finished as a 6th seed. Minnesota should be matching up with Portland, and I think Minnesota, outside of Houston and Golden State, I think Minnesota is probably the only team that could dominate Portland in the first round matchup.
See, me, it would be San Antonio.
But that's the same thing, injury basis though.
Well, even that, he wasn't there, but they all underachieved.
But
They also need to get
right,
young
but if you
free.
put Kawhi in, it's different. So I'm saying
Like non-injury base, I'm going with Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna be a lot better than what they were, and they just kept losing down the stretch. Last game of the year to play for the 6th seed, they lost by 30, and then they got knocked back to the 7.
James Harden winning MVP this year?
Yes. I think it's a sure thing.
Now, he's the first person since Iverson to average 30 a game in a season, right? It's him, Iverson, and Jordan? Are they the only players to do it?
I think so.
Because Jordan did, like 30.9 or something like that? Iverson, just got it, didn't he? Wasn't he, 30.1?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Right, and then I think Harden's, 30.3 or something like that. That's crazy. That's insane.
And he's pretty good at passing when he decides to.
Yeah. He should hook up with, Tony Allen in the offseason and learn to play some defense.
It's funny to think about.
He can if he really wanted to, but he just doesn't want to.
Probably not.
Because last night watching the game, Robert Covington had 3 blocks in the first minute of the game. I'm like,
wow,
all right. But defense goes a long way in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and I don't think
absolutely.
the Rockets play enough. That's the reason why I think they can exit early.
It's funny. I'm positive Riddler has said this a million times. I understand that the progression for a lot of players came while going out on their own. But imagine that Thunder team, if it all kind of,
I think it would have crashed and burned.
Think so?
You think they would have won though?
No.
Maybe early on, one more year before they traded Harden.
I feel that could have been something.
Let Harden stay on the bench as a 6th man, which he was.
It's too. I say no because Harden was able to show his true capabilities as a player by being the guy in Houston. He wouldn't have. I don't think Harden would have been a 30-point guy if he had stayed and even started in OKC.
You'd have a lot of 6th man of the year awards.
Too many egos on one team. That's the one thing about Golden State and why it works so well. And it was the same reason the Heat worked so well. It was because there's no egos.
Except
LeBron
Draymond
James.
Green. He has a big fucking
Who?
ego. Draymond Green.
Yeah, but Draymond Green has a big ego for other players. I'm better than you. Fuck off. But he's not oh, give me the ball. I'm shooting the 3. Fuck you, Steph. That's not, his ego is driven outward. It's not an inward team ego. The Heat team, they came in and Bosh and LeBron knew that this was Dwayne Wade's team, and Dwayne Wade and Bosh knew that LeBron James was going to be the dominant guy, and then Wade and James knew that Bosh was going to be clutch down the stretch, and to trust him with the ball, and all of them proved that they could hold up to that standard, and there was never really any big disputes in Miami about that as a team. It's the same thing in Golden State. Everybody can score the ball, but you don't see Klay Thompson bitching if he only gets 10 points. Klay Thompson knows that he's going to go out there and he's going to play lockdown defense, and that's going to be the best thing that he can offer for his team. Even if he has the ability to drop 40 points, the best thing he can do for that team is to play lockdown defense. Kevin Durant, same type of deal. He knows the best thing that he can do for the team is go out there and play lockdown defense, because he knows that that's not the strong point in Steph Curry's game. He's that wing defender like Klay Thompson. The egos don't. But I think if they all stayed, Kevin Durant, that was Kevin Durant's team, but Westbrook emerged, and Westbrook is ego, and it would have been two. It's 2 guys that operate out of creating their own game, much like what James Harden became. So I don't think anything would have mustered. I think they would have made a finals a couple more times, but I don't think they would have won.
I'm just thinking about this. Can you imagine putting Russell Westbrook with Ray Allen back in the day? That would be a good one too.
K Corv.
Because you could just let Russell run the team, and then if you need Ray Allen to shoot, he's wide open.
Yeah.
All the attention's on him.
Yeah. The super teams, they only work to an extent. And realistically, I would like to see last year's Golden State team play against the Miami team, because LeBron didn't have the help. I mean, Kyrie did his thing, but Kyrie was also not 100% throughout the whole playoffs. And Kevin Love has just been so iffy
With Cleveland.
so streaky all the time. And I mean, and they're a team they're just like the Thunder. After those 3, who else you got?
Well, after those 4. I'll give Steven Adams the.
No, I meant like for Cleveland.
Oh, okay, I'm bad.
After that, I mean, who's the next best player on that team? J.R. Smith, all around wise.
Maybe Jordan Clarkson.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe Jordan Clarkson. Like, that's the best answer we can give. And like the Golden State, they're a brilliant team, and they're gonna have success this postseason because they went out and they did the right thing. They got Zaza, and then they got McGee. You know, they have both those players, so they've got depth at a position that they know is their weakest. They didn't go out. You know, they didn't. They filled the holes the right way. I don't know. It's tough.
And even with Steph's absence, Quinn Cook has become pretty good for them.
I'd like to see more than any other sport. I'd like to see an NBA fantasy draft, or
Just reshake the league up.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. I'd like to see teams do that. I'd be very curious to see who the one is, because in everybody's head, I think they think it's LeBron, but I don't know if it would be because
of the youth.
It depends. Yeah, exactly, youth and build around. Because I mean, like, you can build a team around LeBron. That's not the argument I'm making. Before anybody that's listening in any media makes that argument, you can build a team around LeBron. LeBron can go out, but
I think it depends on if you want to win now, or if you want to win 4 or 5 years when LeBron retires.
Right. LeBron's going to keep you in contention, high playoff seedings the whole way through the rest of his career, but I just think it'd be interesting. There's a lot of viable candidates at the one. I mean, realistically, looking down the line, I mean, if you had to pick probably the top 5 most likely people to go 1 overall, it'd probably be LeBron, Westbrook, Harden, Davis, and Durant. Maybe not even Durant.
You could even put a case in for Ben Simmons for being so young. He's going to be around for a while.
You can go ahead and put that case in. Go.
You know what I'm saying.
You can.
Why wouldn't you want to take a 20-year-old that's on the rise? Not number 1, but I'm saying like in the first 5 picks or first 10 picks.
Maybe. If he works on his shot, maybe.
Dwight Howard at the 1. Not going back on it.
Good. Guy's got the smallest head in sports.
Big shoulders, though.
Yeah. That's your best impression of him?
I have no idea how to do it.
But yeah, so it's... Which matchup do you think is... If only... which series is most likely to go to 7 games?
Jazz, Thunder.
Jazz, Thunder?
I don't know. I feel as though Boston... Only because of the injury.
Boston,
can't remember who they're playing right now.
That's why I said it, 'cause I knew he's at Boston.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Well, I'll do the whatever shots, but I feel Boston, Milwaukee because of the injury aspect.
What about you? Say it.
Miami, Philly. I think Miami has, in my opinion, of the 8 teams in the East, actually out of the 16 teams really in the playoffs, I think Miami has the best home court advantage.
Well, thank God the Sixers play Game 7 at home.
Well, I'm just saying though, is like, and the other aspect of it is that the Sixers have ridden a really hot streak into the playoffs, but streaks end, and what are they at? 15, 16?
17, including last night.
So 17 straight games. I mean,
they're going to lose one in the series. I believe so too.
Right, but they're such a young team. I'm not saying that I want the Sixers to lose. I'm not attacking you on that, Kyle. I feel like they're one of those teams that, like, I could very well see them playing and winning again in Philly, going to Miami and having a really bad game, and then like losing focus and derailing the 4th game, and then like I could very well see this going 7 games, seeing Philly win it in 7, and all wins are home wins.
I can see that too.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
even in the regular season, both teams won 2 games at home.
Like I can just see like the Sixers, if they in fact do lose a game to Miami, I can see it being like kind of like a deflation, and them losing the game right after that. Not like maybe they get blown out the first game, but they lose
by like 3 or
and
4.
then they lose by 3 or 4. They just their focus isn't there, and then they regroup and they come back stronger than ever in the next game.
Well, Embiid's out Game 2.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see. For the Heat, Embiid's out game 2. You're playing in enemy territory. A road win is huge, especially when you don't have home court advantage. And I think that the Heat's biggest concern needs to be over this next 24 hours is what are we going to do with Hassan Whiteside? Because he needs to be in the game.
I don't know what happened. I know, very early on in the game, Spoelstra was very mad at him and just took him out, and I don't think I've ever saw him again.
Yeah, he started the second half, and I think he was out within 90 seconds.
I think they said he was playing really soft. Instead of dunking, he was just going for a floater layup that he missed terribly on. I know I saw that, but it's just you have power and strength over Amir Johnson.
And Ilyasova. And Dario Saric if he works his way down there.
It's just I don't know what he was doing.
They need to find a way to work him in. If Miami wants a chance at winning the series, they need to... I'm not saying they have to win game 2, but they got to get Hassan going before Embiid.
They got Kelly going. He had a good game. I'm not happy about it, but Kelly had a good game.
Yeah. Nah. I think part of the problem too, like I said, I didn't watch the whole game. I only really watched the second half. But I think a big part of the problem too is I don't think just Hassan Whiteside can't keep up with Ilyasova, who's around the perimeter threat. So I don't know. It's hard. Harder. A lot of rookie sensations though in these NBA playoffs. We're going to see some really.
It'd be great to see
really great glimpses into the future for future playoffs and future potential finals matchups.
How great would it be for Jazz Sixers in the finals?
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to Celtics Jazz either. Just in terms of a rookie player, because Tatum was great this year.
He just got overlooked.
Yeah, well, it's going to happen when you have Kyrie. And I mean, the best thing that happened to Jason Tatum was Gordon Hayward's injury.
I wish Jason Tatum got drafted by the Sixers instead of Fultz. I wish Jason Tatum was picked by the Sixers instead of Fultz.
I heard you, but that's very shocking to hear you say.
Well, to me, Tatum would fit better.
Markelle Fultz has a pig nose.
I don't really know what Fultz is going to give.
You guys have the ugliest fucking team in the entire...
I love it.
It's the ugliest team. Dario Saric has the reverse Hitler mustache going.
Ersan Ilyasova, a square head that looks like Brian Jankowski.
Yeah.
Shout out to your cousin, Brian Jankowski.
Fuck him.
Hey.
Embiid is just... Embiid.
He makes me mad.
I can't figure out if Ben Simmons is white, black, or Asian.
I think he's white and black.
And Asian. He's a Caucasian Blasian. Yeah, I don't know. Ugly team.
It's going to be a fun playoffs, I think.
Maybe.
Let's just hope things go differently. Spurs upset the Warriors would be awesome.
Would be cool. I'd like to see it.
I think the only team in the West that has the chance to derail Golden State is Portland. I think Portland has...
Could they score with them?
They can score with them, they can play defense, and they're pesky. They don't go away.
Except last night. For some reason, they couldn't score.
But they're still pesky. They stuck around. They were down by 12, and they ended up losing by 2?
Yeah.
And, I mean, I get it, having Pat take the last shot, who's going to expect that? But...
He's a good three-point shooter, I guess.
But still, would you expect it?
No.
Over McCollum and Dame?
I would have rather had Nurkic take the fucking final shot. Behind the arc, 7-foot center, do it.
Yeah.
Well, we also didn't talk
in a
about...
game-winning situation, buzzer beater situation, who'd you rather have take a 3 for you? Ben Simmons or Dwight Howard?
Dwight Howard. Also, J.J. Redick has played in a lot of playoff games. What was it, 152 or something like that?
Probably.
I think it was.
He was with the Magic when they were making the playoffs.
He's with the Clippers.
And then he was with the Clippers, and they were not doing deep runs, but they were winning in the first round.
I think he made with the Bucks when they got.
I'll never forget it. I remember watching the draft when J.J. Redick was drafted, and they were all hyped on him coming out of Duke and everything. The guy went out and bought himself a fucking $40,000 watch. And now he's just got now he's got tattoos on his arms that are worth more than the watch. He's a weird guy.
I like him though.
He's one of those guys that he's got no business being as good as he is. You know what I'm saying?
He just shoots.
Yeah, but he's but he drives okay. That's the like when he drives and does some acrobatic layup, you're just oh wow, that was cool or whatever. But you've seen it before. But he's not, like Kyle Korver shoots a 3, but like if Kyle Korver dunks, you're just like everyone's just like, oh my god, what just happened? Oh, we're out of time.
We're about out of time.
How come you're supposed to let us know that? We have beer reviews to do.
Well, we'll get them in real quick. You guys were vibing. You guys always criticize me, so you guys want to talk.
You wanted extensive beer reviews. Now we got to rush them.
All right, lights on. Lights.
No. You started off with your starting pitcher.
Oh, my starting pitcher. That was called Baby Mama.
Yep, it was the Baby Mama. No, you started with the Tiny Beautiful Something by Maine Beer Company.
For me, it sucked.
Why?
I just didn't like it.
Just didn't like it. It gives no reasons.
No, I don't like the flavor. Like it tastes like cinnamon to me.
Cinnamon.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it.
All right. And what did you finish with?
Lights on. Lights.
From where?
On. I don't know.
All right, so
I don't really care. It was better than that one.
So I started with Lights On from Treehouse. I enjoyed it. They're from Munson, Mass, I believe. I enjoyed it. It was light. It didn't have like where this one had I finished with the Tiny Beautiful Something. It kind of like a more citrusy taste. I felt. I don't know if that's what I'm trying to say, but I think it had more of a citrusing than that. But I enjoyed it. In fact, I might have enjoyed it more than the Treehouse.
Wow.
I'm glad that we switched roles then.
Eau de Blumpy. Very good. Not really that mild citrus. More hop friendly though. Pretty good though. Smooth drinking, very hazy. And then I had also a glass of the Michter's straight rye. A lot of bite, a lot of rye. Very flavorful. A lot of oak. Big fan. Makes a mean Manhattan.
All right.
Very good.
You can catch us on social media.
You can find us at Facebook at Getting Sports with the Drunk, at Twitter, GSWD_4, Instagram, Getting Sports with the Drunk. We're on the Leib Sports Network every day from 7 to 8 a.m. and every Sunday on right here, PPRN, from 11 to 1. We're on Facebook Live. We're working out those kinks still. But you can watch us on Facebook Live. On PPRN, soon to be Getting Supposed to Drunk. We'll figure it out. We'll somehow figure it out, but that's where you can find us.
Still in the preliminary phases.
Yes.
Yeah. So shout us out. Let us know what your most intriguing matchups are in the NBA and the NHL playoffs. Also, let us know where you think Des Bryant's winding up his start of the season.
Do you want to have Rita try to post our brackets?
No.
No? All right.
And yeah. So we'll see you next week. Stay cool.